Hey GlamFam, Linwood here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do knotless braids on this head of mannequin hair for visual learners. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned and let's dive right into this tutorial. Now first, if you don't have someone to practice on, you can purchase mannequins like these, and I'll put a link down in the description box down below so that way you know where you can get them. For this tutorial, you're also going to need some butterfly clips like this here. You'll need duckbill clips. I like the cricket kind here just because they grip so well. You'll need a rat tail comb. So I like this one here just because it's very sturdy and it holds up to all sorts of stuff. Plus the end of it is nice and pointed. You may also, especially for like the sake of detangling, things like that, you may need, it helps if you take the hair out of the brush, Linwood. You may need a paddle brush. My favorite is the Denman paddle brush. I also like the wet brush if you are more tender-headed or if you have very fine hair. This does work best on hair that has been stretched with a blow dryer ahead of time, just for the sake of some ease in managing the hair. And then if you plan on doing this quite frequently, I would honestly recommend getting a thread rack like this. The thread racks are great because it allows you to place the hair along there in smaller increments, and that way you can just grab and go as you braid. It makes your life so much easier. So I've already got some hair here just to kind of show you guys how to work with, but we'll go ahead and be utilizing the thread rack for the tutorial. So you want to start with taking some braiding hair, and this is just some pre-stretched braiding hair, so the hair tapers down on the ends. I've got it in hot pink because this is for visual learners, and I want to make sure that you are able to grasp everything that's going on. And I'm going to take that about the amount that I want the thickness of that braid to be. So how I determine as I take it, I pinch it not just like this, but because the hair is going to be doubled over and braided, I take it and twist it and feel for the overall thickness. That's how I determine how thick that braid will be. And if that feels right to me, we're good to go. Now I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna split it into 3 equal sized portions, or close to equal. So 1, place it on the thread rack here, 2 and 3. And we're gonna place it on the thread rack. So that actually comes down to a size. Let me see if y'all can see there, a size about like that there. So pretty tiny. For this type of style, you will be needing a product to utilize for braiding. So if you have more of a rough surface texture, or if you have more coily or thick hair, you may find that you prefer something like Shine and Jam. It does really well for giving you some grip on hair that has a little bit more texture and a bit more surface texture to it. For hair that is more silky or smooth and really slips easily, something like the Grip Glaze from the Just For Me Curl Piece line is excellent. So that's for more of a silky texture, and for more of a rougher surface texture, or for more coily hair, I would recommend the Shine and Jam. This one is my absolute favorite, but for textures like mine that slip really easy, the Grip Glaze is going to be great for that. So let's zoom in here so that way you guys can see what's going on. Okay, so we're up close on this section of hair now. I'm gonna take just a bit of the Shine and Jam and we're gonna place that onto the hair. Now the amount of this that you use is going to be based on the level of control that you want, but to me the most important area to have it is right up here at top, because you really want it to look sleek and slick and blend on in there. My technique is a little bit different from other people that I see on YouTube, because I am more keen to placing that hair in there as soon as possible so it sits up nice and close and it looks the same width all the way down. I see a lot of people on YouTube where they wait until they start adding it in and it looks really thin here and then it gets gradually thicker, and to me that's just not as natural looking. So I'm all about natural looking braids when you're doing a knotless braid, so that's what I'm going to go for. So I'm going to place that in there and comb it through that section of hair just so it's nice and smooth like that there. Notice it's not on the ends. I'm not overly concerned with that for now. Okay, now we're going to take that hair and split it into 3 sections. So I've got 1, 2 and 3. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this hair and go under once, so left under middle, right under middle, and then from there I'm going to immediately begin adding in hair. Okay, so I'm just going to hold the base of the braid down to the head like that, and what that's going to do is it's going to allow it to not slip so easily. From there I'm going to take some hair and pass it across those outside 2 strands just like that. Now the next strand that's going to pass under is this one here on the left. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grip this one on the right, and the one on the left we're just going to give a slight twist. So just twist a little and take it under the middle, like so. So once I've done that, this is what it's looking like here. And notice there at the scalp, it's not showing any type of knot where I've added in the hair, anything like that. Now I'm noticing this hair on the side is getting in my way. So this is where that duck bill comes in really handy. So I'm just gonna take that, bring that up, clip out of the way, okay? So right now I've got 2 strands on the top. I'm gonna add again. So we're gonna pick up another strand off of the braiding rack, place that along the outside 2 strands of hair. And now this time, the next one that's supposed to go under is the one on the right. So I'm gonna give it a slight turn and then pass under the middle, just like that. And then we've got one more time. I'm gonna go ahead and place it over the outside strands, just like so. Now the left strand is gonna go under the middle. So we're gonna take it, give it a slight turn, and bring it under the middle, just like that. And then from there, we can just begin braiding down. Once I get down a little ways, I'm just gonna flip my hands. I'm gonna begin to braid as I usually would. Now, if you are working with something that is closer in color, then of course you don't have to worry about blending and all that, because it'll blend in just fine for you. But you can kind of see there how that's going. So I'm gonna braid this all the way down and I'll let you see up close how that's looking. So I'm gonna place a little bit more product on the mids and ends of the hair. I don't wanna completely cover it, but just enough to kind of grip and blend. So we're gonna take that, blend right on down, and continue braiding. Okay, so I didn't braid that all the way down, but I do want you to see at this scalp area how that is looking. So if you'll notice, when we start there, my very first piece I added in was right up here. You can't even see that first piece I added in. And it allows you to lift and you're not really seeing a knot from any direction. Now, of course, if this is the color of the client's hair, it blends in perfectly. In this instance, I probably could have done some tucking to kind of help hide the color, but my goal is to show you how to do this here, because tucking is a whole different video, and honestly that's something I don't have perfected. That's not a specialty of mine. But I wanted to show you guys how to do this here to where it starts off around the size that you're going to want it from the top and flows all the way down, and then gradually begins to taper as you get down towards the bottom, where you are able to blend that and make it look more natural. So this section I have here is about a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch section, but you can do these sections whatever size you want them. So yeah, so I'm gonna do one more and then I'm gonna be done. Now, another important piece of advice that I would give you is on your second row up, make sure you're taking them to where your braids are falling perfectly over the part lines of your last section. So instead of laying your braids on top of each other like this, vary them a little so they lay on top of each other like this here. It covers the scalp more and makes the hair look thicker, which is especially important with knotless braids, because they don't tend to be as bulky if you're doing them at a reasonable size as a standard box braid would be. Which, by the way, if you need a box braid tutorial, I've got one on that too, and I'll link it up in the corner for you to check out later. So I'm gonna do this one with the grip glaze, just that way you can see the difference in how the product looks. I'm gonna place that on that section here towards the scalp, and I'm just gonna comb that in. Now make sure that you have this very smooth. If you have little flyaways, things like that that are getting in the way, clip those out of the way. Those little strands being pulled into your braid can make it really, really painful for people to do. From there, I'm gonna begin again by separating into 3 strands, just like so. Okay. Just like that. And we're gonna go under 1, under 2, and on the 3rd one, I'm gonna add in here. So now we just take a strand of hair, we're gonna bring it across those top 2 strands like that. Now you don't wanna grip it this far down, but I'm doing this so y'all can easily see what's going on. So I'm gripping across those top 2 strands, roll it a little, and tuck, just like that, okay? And I'm gonna push down at the scalp, add in my next one. Again, coming across those top 2 strands. And now we gotta do it on the left. So we're gonna turn it just a little and tuck. Then last time, over those top 2 strands. Now we're back on the right. So we just turn it a little and tuck, just like so. And then from there, we just continue braiding right on down. So the nice thing is with the knotless braids like this, they don't give quite as much tension on that scalp area. So that way they're a little easier for you to put up earlier. You still should wait at least a couple days before you start pulling it up in high ponytails, but you don't have to worry about putting it up earlier. It looks a little bit more natural than having a standard box braid. Now the downside of it is it takes a lot longer to do than a standard box braid, and it is a bit more expensive to have done if you're doing it professionally because of the fact that it is so tedious to do. So those are things that you want to consider if you are thinking about getting this done by someone else, or if you're thinking about doing it. It's just make sure that you have some time on your hands, and make sure that you have some patience as well, because it's going to take both. So yeah, so that's 2 knotless braids, one with the shine and jam, the other with the grip glaze. And you can see there's not honestly a major difference with how it looks when you're finished with either of those products, but the texture is much more different. So for silkier hair, the grip glaze grips a little better. For hair that has more of a coil pattern or rough surface texture, the shine and jam works much better. So yeah, I hope that this video has been helpful to you. If so, let me know in the comment box down below. If you'd like to get some GlamFam merch, that's down in the description box below as well. And if you haven't already downloaded my free 6-page hair care guide, you can do that by clicking the link in the description box down below as well. There's so much stuff in the description box. All the products that you need will be down there as well. So if you have any questions, check there first. And then from there, if you don't find the answers, feel free to leave me a comment, and I'd be more than happy to answer as many questions as I can, because sometimes they can be, there can be a lot of questions. So yes, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care, God bless, and stay glam. And you know I love you, Bo. Bye.